Hello everyone, welcome to the next episode on AnubhavTrainings.com. In this series of videos, we will talk about how to consume our calculation views created in SAP HANA using CDS view concept. The motivation behind using such a concept is in your company, you would have already done a lot of investment in classical HANA views like attribute views, analytic views, and calculation views. Now the stack is changing and most of the companies moving with ABAP on HANA or BW on HANA, CRM powered by HANA, Business Suite powered by HANA, and finally ultimate goal is S4 HANA, which is typically an ABAP system running on top of HANA where you have now the CDS views which are being created. So how do you protect your existing investments? So your company would have spent a lot of time and effort building these calculation views, attribute views, analytic views, and you would like to now expose these data using the CDS views to the third-party applications, or you would like to build a Fiori analytic applications, or you would like to give it to some other developers to use the data of your calculation views and combine it with other CDS models, lot of variety of combinations. So in this series of end-to-end tutorial, you will learn about SAP HANA, calculation views, plus CDS, plus OData, plus Fiori. Ultimately, I would call it as a killer application, which we will be creating by the end using complete technology stack. I would not let you explain the basics of CDS, basics of OData, basics of Fiori, basics of HANA. This video is assumed that you're already aware of these things and you have taken my ABAP on HANA training already. If you have not taken my ABAP on HANA training, I would request you to please subscribe our ABAP on HANA S4 HANA training on anubhavtrainings.com, without which you will not be able to understand this video properly. But if you have already taken that, then it will be very easy for you to understand this end-to-end scenario. So let's get started. What is the motivation and approaches which we have today to achieve go-to-data paradigm in ABAP on HANA stack? So we have different approaches where you have the background with SAP HANA as a database, along with a lot of views which have been built. Now these views needs to be consumed on the front end side or on the ABAP side or on the BW side. There are a variety of approaches here. These are all the different approaches which we have discussed during our training. Just a quick wrap here. So we include view proxies, pure CDS, procedure calls using ADBCs, ABAP database connectivity option with ABAP database interface. We have ABAP managed data procedure AMDPs and CDS table function. In this video, we will actually take the approach as CDS table function to consume the calculation view which is residing in underlying HANA DB. So this is the approach I will be showing you, how to consume a calculation view which is created in HANA DB using the CDS table function feature. And the best part of this is it also allows you cross schema access. So we will be creating a view in a schema in HANA, and you can actually access that also across different schemas in your ABAP player actually. So that's what we'll be doing. As you all know, whenever we activate a calculation view in HANA, it creates a view, DDIC view in database in sysbig schema. So we will be utilizing that calculation view. We'll be building it from scratch, and then we will be consuming using CDS table function. And ultimately, we want to build a Fiori app, an analytic Fiori app on top of the same. So in our use case, we want to build sales analytics. So we already have data in the system with the sales data tables, invoice header and business partner table. I will be using this data and we will be building sales analytics using calculation view, testing it in HANA, then consume that using CDS table function in ABAP layer, and then finally exposing this as an OData service to a Fiori app, which will display the charts and analytics to the end user. So that will be the end-to-end tutorial throughout. Maja aega. Let's get started. So what will be our approach and steps? So in step number 1, we will be creating a calculation view in SAP HANA for sales analytics. We will be testing our view in HANA using native SQL with aggregation. We will be then creating CDS table function in ABAP layer, and then expose this as an AMDP function by calling the native HANA query, which is invoking your calculation view. And then in the next subsequent video, in the next phase of this video series, I will talk about how to expose this to an outer CDS, create an OData service, register and test your service in the gateway client or in the browser, and finally consume this in a Fiori application where we will display a beautiful pie chart or a bar chart to the end user as a final result. So this is the video series exclusively brought to you by AnubhavTrainings.com. Please do let us know your requirements and your training needs. We are always here to help you on different modules like UI5, Fiori, Gateway, OData, S4HANA, ABAP on HANA, CDS views, AMDP, ADBC, ABAP on Cloud, new RESTful ABAP programming model, and many more concepts you will be able to learn in no time with AnubhavTrainings.com. So let's get started. Our step number one, we will be creating a calculation view to build sales analytics. So for that, I'll just quickly switch to our HANA box. So this is the HANA system we have. And I do have a package here called mob5 underscore Anubhav. That's the package I've already created. And under this package now, I will be quickly modeling a calculation view from scratch. So let's start a new view. So let's say new, and we'll create a calculation view in HANA. We will be creating a graphical type of calculation view. Now this approach is same as for both graphical and scripted calculation view. It will work the same way. Does not matter whether you are using graphical view or scripted calculation view. The same approach will work for every case. Now I'll just start with the calculation view and I'll say sales analytics, and I will just say fine, all of this okay, and it's a cube type of graphical view, and I say finish, and I'll just make it a little bigger here. Let's first of all bring our data models, the tables which we will be using. So I'll add two projections. The first projection will be getting the data about business partner. So that's your buyer data, who's the customer data basically. So let's just give here customer data. And then I will be adding the customer table, business partner table. All right, just choose it and it comes here. So I will be exposing from here the company name and the business partner primary key field along with the client field. And the next one which I will be adding is another projection to the data model, and this will return the sales data, sales invoices. So sales invoices for the company. And let's include here sales invoice. I am so sorry, I've just used a wrong table from wrong schema. Just have to just sales invoice header table. And now I will expose from here the buyer grid along with the gross amount and the currency code. Now next to that we will add a join. This is going to join my sales data, sales invoice and customer data. Join it is. Just connect them. This is how we model a calculation view in HANA. And now it's time to define the relationship. Forgot to add the client field here. Just come back and just define this connection quickly. Node key of this goes and connects with the buyer GUID. It's a one-to-one relationship with referential integrity. Say OK. Just expose this finally out. And we would expose the client field out, the node, the company name, gross amount, and currency code. And now here we will add client and company name as an output, and gross amount as aggregated output, and currency code as an output. So you can see gross amount is your measure here for the analytics, which will be calculating the total sales which was given by that customer to us throughout the entire tenure. I will just save this, and it looks good, so we can just quickly open the activation panel here, and we can just try and activate our view. First, do a quick check here. So check completed, and let's activate this view out here. So it's okay. And you can see it's been successfully activated, our calculation view. Very simple one, yet very effective one. So now I can just do a data preview quickly here and just drag and drop this company name and the gross amount. And you can see, wow, voila. You can see here a beautiful analytics, which is showing you the total sales given by each of the customer in form of a pie chart, bar chart, stack chart, whatsoever you like. You can actually see that quickly in HANA Studio. Awesome. So this is the analytics. Now I want to give it to the end user. And as you all know, with S4 or with ABAP on HANA or BW HANA now, the new front end is your Fiori application. So that's the ultimate outcome we want. But now how do you bring this data to the ABAP stack? So this data is available, but now if I want to bring it in ABAP stack, first of all, let me write a quick query here to test this data. In at least the raw data, we should be able to consume it on the ABAP side. So I'm going to go back here and we're going to test and write a native SQL query first of all. So for that, I will just go back and I will just find out the name of the DD view which has been created by HANA, the runtime artifact. And this is the concept which I've taught you already in my course. What is the design time artifact? What is the runtime artifact? Concept of catalog and schema objects and the content objects and packages and native HANA development. All of this is covered in detail in our ABAP on HANA training. So I'm not repeating that once again. So I'm going to say select company name. Of course, we will also use the client field. Sum of gross amount. Awesome. And voila, you can see here the result is coming out, the aggregated result from your SQL view, which has been generated as a runtime artifact for this calculation view. And now I want to consume this result in the ABAP layer, the S4 layer. So for that, I will switch to our ABAP system now, and we will quickly go ahead to the step number 2. So step number 1 is complete. We created a calculation view for analytics, sales analytics. That is complete, so just mark it done. Testing our view using native SQL in HANA, it's also done. Now it's time to create a CDS table function. So let's go back and create a CDS table function here. So I'll come to ABAP system, right click, new, and now just create core data services option and just create a CDS data definition. And let's go ahead and give some names, ZCDS calculation view, consume, whatever you want. So just give ZCDS calc view. So consume HANA calculation view, anubhavtrainings.com. Now guys, I will share this entire code of this particular CDS and AMDP with you. You can download this from the description of the video, and then you can use this as it is in your company. Awesome. Say next. And now we will choose here an option which is so-called CDS table function. So if you come here, you see there are different options here to choose from, and we'll go with define CDS table function with parameters. Now say finish. And we will be adding here the parameters now. So the very first parameter, as always in CDS table function, starts with client field. And let's put environment annotation with client. Now, what is an annotation and all that stuff? As you all know, it's covered in our training. So this video is mainly effective for the people who have already understood the concepts of ABAP on HANA in the past. So company name. And we'll put the data type here as NWD underscore company name. That's a data element for the company name field. Then we will put our gross amount, the total gross amount which the view is going to return for analytics, and I say TTL gross amount. And finally, the currency code field. And I'll say NWD currency code. Awesome. And let's put a class name. ZCL Anubhav is my class name. And I will be putting here a method name. Let's say Anubhav trainings. That's my method name. So now it's time to activate the CDS table function. It got activated. Wow. And it's time to build a class ZCL Anubhav. Right click once again, create a new class. So Anubhav's AMDP class. And as you all know, a class becomes an AMDP once you add a public section and interface here called if underscore AMDP marker HDB. This is important to make a class as an AMDP. And it's time to define a class static method for consuming the result from the function. But before that, let's declare some data types. So we will begin with a new data type. So types begin of ty underscore result is the result type which you can create. Of course, maybe since we are creating a CDS table function, we don't need that. This could be an extra step. We don't need that. So we can directly switch and create a method in AMDP method here. So class method, let's give some name, whatever name we have defined here. Anubhav trainings is the name. And we will say this is defined for CDS table function. And the name of my CDS table function is zcalcview. Just put that, save it. And now it's time to write the code for this in the implementation. So Anubhav trainings and method. And in this, now we will be writing the implementation. So it's very straightforward and simple. Just bring the entire native SQL code from here and just return that out here. Awesome, fantastic. That's really beautiful. So that's how you do that. But remember, this is going to treat this as a SQL script code. So you have to specify that it's not a normal ABAP method, rather it's a specialized SQL script AMDP method. Yeah. So by database procedure, that's a special syntax. Okay, we to just function for language SQL script. Options read only. Save this up, and now let's activate this class. That's really cool. Now our AMDP class is active. We can go back straight away here. So you remember that the output of your calculation view in HANA, now we are on ABAP stack with the CDS view created, which is consuming the same stuff out there. And I say F8, execute, and wow, there you go. You can see your results on the UI, like shining, awesome. And you can see all the result is displaying the total sales per company. And this is extremely faster because it used the power of HANA, the native HANA capabilities like parallel processing, fast computing, compression, column store. All those benefits are used out of the box. And then in the next subsequent video, which I will show you, is consuming this in a Fiori app. So this is one important part where you have understood quickly how to create a calculation view, very basic one yet, and how to use that calculation view in ABAP layer as a CDS table function, and the result was displayed on the ABAP layer. In the same way, you can do it on a BW system or Business Suite system or an S4 system. And in the next video, I will show you how to create now a Fiori application which displays the same chart, same analytics data to the end user by creating an OData service. All right. So with that, Anubhav signing out. Stay tuned. Please do like, subscribe, share this video with your friends, and do let me know what else do you need to know about this new technology. I would happy to create more videos like this for all of you, absolutely free. With that, Anubhav signing out. Thank you so much. See you in the next video. Goodbye.